Sing for the madman, sing for the thief. It's a shame I am getting used to my full-time
Nice painting.
disbelief.
Felt like it fit him a little bit.
Counting the
Tried to channel the Will Johnson.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Up to Your Ears. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Josie. How's it going, Vanessa?
It's going great. I'm really excited about our guest today. We have Will Johnson.
From Austin, Texas, people. You may know Will from Centromatic, South San Gabriel.
And I'll meet you at the Narrows.
And he's here, actually. So let's just get this party started.
All right. Yay!
It's crazy.
Yep.
This
Josie has nothing but amazing, glowing things to say about you, how talented and kind and generous and fun you are. So really looking forward to chatting with you.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
So what do you say? Do you want to start this fun questionnaire and get it going here, Vanessa?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I'm good to go.
So we have a questionnaire that we've devised. It's called Truth or Protect Your Rep. So you can totally lie your ass off if you want to, or you can tell us the truth. Totally up to you.
All right. I just got very nervous, but fire away.
Don't be nervous. The first question we have for you is, when you were growing up, what was your favorite cartoon?
The Harlem Globetrotters cartoon.
Nice.
And probably Mr. Magoo as well. There was something about Mr. Magoo that I related to. He was mostly blind, I believe, and kind of deaf and a little bit oblivious, but happy. And I kind of enjoyed that character take on him. He would just walk into quarries and things like highly dangerous situations, but I kind of admired him for his strange way of tuning out the world, but also being blissful. So Mr. Magoo and the Harlem Globetrotters.
I think that was Jim Backus that did Mr. Magoo's voice.
Really?
I used to totally watch that too, and I loved it. It was always comedic for sure. And you worried for him, you know, but he didn't.
He didn't worry.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. It taught us a lot.
Yeah. It'll all work out.
Okay, next question. I have first question for you, for me. Will, what was the first concert you ever remember going to on purpose?
Like not one that your parents hauled you to, but one that you went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, one that I wanted to go to real bad. It happened at an early age. It happened when I was 3 years old in 1974. My mother took me to see John Denver at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. And by her account, I didn't sit down for the entire show. I was totally obsessed with him and his music at the time. And even at age 3, like the notion of going to a concert thrilled me. And we were from a tiny town north of Memphis, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we made the trek down, and she took me to that show. And there are bits and pieces that I still remember from it. I remember we had front row upper deck, and I remember standing at the railing, just watching the show. The first true live music experience I had ever had.
Did your parents listen to a lot of John Denver?
My mom did. It was at that age, it was just my mom and me, but she taught me how to use the record player at a pretty early age. And she had a lot of those records hanging around, and definitely a lot of like Carpenters and kind of, early 70s mellow jams. I remember, a little later on being able to pick out records and pull them out of the sleeves carefully and trying to like really do the whole motion of interacting with music at the record player. and then I would strap on a cheap plastic acoustic guitar and, try to play along to the records and sing. And so, yeah, the John Denver records are probably that was the first big dive I did.
I recall my parents were really into music too. Not John Denver, although we're similar in age. They were huge Beatle fans. And I remember very specifically, my dad had the White album on white vinyl. And I remember the tutorial of you only touch the record by the edges. You never touch any grooves. And, he taught me how to use the super soft velvet, brush to get any lint off and, that bit.
Yeah. I've realized how much of that was hardwired into me when I was teaching our daughter. She's 10 now, but 5 or 6 years ago, when she was getting interested in playing records in the living room, I realized I was going through those very same motions of, this is how you hold it, and this is how you put it on, real careful, don't move fast, no need to be in a hurry. And it took a little time to sort of explain, like, well, the side is over, and now you got to get up and go flip it. But for her to learn that was an interactive, that's an interactive action with music and with the recording itself. But kids these days may just see that as an inconvenience, but subconsciously you're really interacting with a listening experience.
Okay, next question for you. Have you read any good books lately?
Yes, I have. My favorite book of 2020 is a book of short stories called Sleepovers by a writer named Ashley Bryant Phillips. And so that's one I was super high on the last, 3 or 4 months. Kind of bouncing around a little bit, but that's one that definitely sticks out. And that was my favorite of last year. Right now I'm reading an advanced copy of my friend Wiley Cash's new novel. It comes out a little bit later this year. I got a sneak peek at Willie Bloughton's new novel that comes out in April. So fortunately, one of the benefits of being friends with some writers is that they give you their works in advance. So I've gotten a little bit of a sneak peek of some neat books that are coming out later this year. But I'm trying to read as much as I can as time and volume around the house will allow for it. It's slow going right now, but I'm sticking with it. I'm just trying to raise a flag to their great work already. So it's stuff to look out for in the next few months. Those books will be coming out. The Ashley Bryant Phillips book is already out, but Willie Bloughton and Wiley Cash's books are coming out in the next few months.
Cool. We'll be sure to put a link in the video to those books also.
Yeah.
Okay, Will. This is kind of a two-parter for you, but if you could, on your next tour, put together like your dream tour, what would it be? Who would you be on tour with?
Oh my goodness.
I know. And they don't have, they could have passed already, This is like, anything's possible. They don't have to be living.
Yeah. I understand. Man, that's a really...
John Denver.
Yeah, that's with John Denver. It's tough because I'm seeing different environments to play music in. Obviously, there's the club sort of rock show environment, and if it were a band situation, goodness, that's tough to choose. And then if it were a quieter sort of living room type situation, which is more of what I've done in recent years, it would be something totally different. And
okay, let's say it's a living room situation, because I like the idea of it being really intimate and really special.
Well, this actually, a band or a group comes to mind that I was listening to this morning. They're from Sweden, and they're called Tape. It's just a 3-piece. As far as I know, I've never seen them play live, but they are a 3-piece instrumental ensemble, and I've been obsessed with their music for 16 years or so now, but I've never gotten to see them. I don't think they are really doing stuff anymore, and they never really. I don't think they did much over here stateside, and the mystery of that group grows with every year that passes to me. And but they're one of the most regular sources of music that I've come back to, and like I say, 15 years or so. So maybe to do a tour with tape would be really neat. It would reveal some mysteries about what they're about as people, and maybe some of their background as far as music goes. But tape would be a great one. Never got to tour with Sparkle Horse back in the day. I met Mark, but we never got to tour together. And to be able to go back in time and maybe do a Centromatic Sparkle Horse tour or a South San Gabriel Sparkle Horse tour would be amazing. Touring with Vic Chestnut would be incredible. So my mind's kind of just split open right now with tons of people that I'd love to tour with, as you can see, and I'm discovering it as I think about it more. So there are a few.
So you're on tour, just hypothetically, on one of these most amazing tours with either Tape or Sparkle Horse or whomever. You can have any food truck with any food follow you around on tour. Food truck feeding you all tour long. What kind of food truck is it?
Tacos.
If you could have dinner with one artist, living or not, who would it be and why?
Howard Finster.
Okay.
But just to sit across from him and kind of pick his brain about the visual bombast of his art, but also the spiritual force behind his art as well. He used a lot of biblical themes and a lot of, but also he would stray away from that and then make these really cool small pieces of, say, Elvis Presley or James Dean or pop culture figures. He was all over the map, but and he was also a great banjo player, really good musician. So I think he would be at the top of the heap for sure if I got to pick somebody just to sit down with and have a little bit to pick their brain.
Share some tacos.
Yeah, perhaps so.
Yeah.
I think anyone can bond over tacos.
I definitely gonna check him out. I don't know who he is. I don't know. I don't know if I would recognize even any of his stuff, but I'm excited to check it out.
So we have one final question for you.
Yeah.
Thing is, you do have kids. Phone at the table, yes or no?
No.
Is that for you or to model behavior or both or?
So we might excuse ourselves from that if we're the only ones at the table, but if the kids are there, we put them away. No phone.
Good call.
Well, Will, my last question for you. First of all, thank you for answering our fun questionnaire. But my last question for you, Will, is what do you have going on now? Are you painting currently? I know you're constantly painting, but do you have anything in the works, a show, new music coming out? What's going on with you?
Well, I put out a new record in August. That vinyl just came out a few weeks ago. It's a record called El Capitan. And it's a pretty low-key affair for sure, all recorded on this $100 Stella guitar I found at a resale shop. And I just figured it was time to make something that I had these songs that had just built up over the course of tours and tours and tours. And so I kind of put them in a collection and put this record out. Obviously no touring or anything right now. So I'm leaning on the painting thing pretty much full time, and it's mostly all commission work right now. And I'm grateful for that. It's definitely given me something to fall back on, though I miss the interaction and the energy of being in a room playing music. I'm just leaning on the painting thing. I finished a novel that comes out in March,
What?
and so I'm slowly, yeah, and it comes
Oh
out a couple months, I think March 15th.
Ides of
So I've been
March?
working on,
Not the Ides of
yeah.
March. Oh,
So I've been piecing that together over the last 2.5 years or so, and it's finally coming out. So I'm kind of getting into the ramp up of, a few, I don't know, a few online events and things like that to kind of commemorate that, and trying to learn how to do a proper reading. Um, so, and a little bit of writing, just whenever time allows and it's quiet enough. But mostly painting and just, we're doing our best to keep the kiddos occupied and doing small isolated trips here and there to cabins or wherever feels safe enough to get out. But really, just like I said, hour to hour,
yeah. And your book, is it a biography? Is it fiction, nonfiction?
It's a novel, it's fiction. And it's a family story based kind of with the backdrop of my home territory, which is Southeast Missouri and the Boot Heel, they call it, kind of
Mhm.
extended Mississippi Delta. Um, it's pretty glum at points, but at the same time, I want to believe that there are some threads of hope in it. It's a family story and it's about a father that definitely has an undiagnosed medical condition, and he and uh, his ex-wife, mother of their teenage son, they're just trying to work out how to raise their kid in a highly challenged situation, and they're working people, and they definitely don't get out of their 100-mile radius all that much, and you
Mhm.
can tell that pretty early on. But a lot of the novel was drawn from experiences I had as a kid up there, and I kind of kept running with it. It started off as a short story a couple of years ago, and I just decided that I really wanted to hang out with these characters a little bit more. So I went ahead and expanded it into a full, I don't know, 275-page novel.
Wow,
Share
that's
with us
awesome.
the title.
Yeah, it's called If or When I Call.
If or When I Call?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, publisher called Goliad Media, and they're actually out of Denton, Texas, and they've put out records and done kind of various multimedia projects over the years. So anyway, I came to an agreement with them back in 2015 or 2016 to supply them with a book, and they drew no lines in the sand with that. They said it can be fiction, nonfiction, it could be drawings, it could be poetry, it could be a hybrid book of road stories and fiction, whatever you want it to be, it can be. I finally pulled through on something that took hold, and I was at least exhilarated enough to see it through.
Congratulations. That's so
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
wonderful.
And you're like, yeah, I just finished a
Thank you.
novel. No big deal. We've been talking to you for like 30 minutes, and that's like the last thing you said. Like, after we're talking about all these authors and stuff, like, oh yeah, I got an advanced copy of this, blah, blah, blah. No mention of you like being the overachiever you are, just so like laissez-faire. Yeah, I wrote a book. It's cool. 275 pages. Coming
That's my
out.
favorite thing about these interviews is it's like a treasure hunt. You never know when that little gem is going to pop out in the interview.
Come on,
But it does.
get in there. What is going on?
Yeah.
You're like, just everything. This is exciting stuff, people. And like, obviously you like, I don't know, there's probably so much going on that it just sort of like negates itself. And you're just like this super calm Zen being right now.
It's I think it's probably because, exhaustion and sleep deprivation definitely have a lot to do with that calm nature at the point.
It's a zombie. So
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we have been served a massive load of perspective over these last 10 or 12 months, and so with that, just comes a little bit of, let's just ride with the moment and try to keep it as level as we can.
yeah.
I can safely say that whatever. I'm an only child from a small town where there wasn't a whole lot to do, so I had to figure some stuff out early, I guess. So I got myself into some creative trouble pretty early on, and I just stuck with it, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you literally can look up a road trip on YouTube, someone driving across New Mexico or whatever. You might as well just take the laptop, set it on the dashboard, sit there in the blue glow of someone else's road trip and listen to some jams. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm laughing, but in, 9 hours, I might be doing that.
Whatever gets you through that hour.
All right.
All right, we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the hang time. I really appreciate it. And thank you again for having me along.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
All right.
And give love to your family.
I will,
Bye.
definitely. I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Yay, Will Johnson, what a nice guy.
Oh my gosh. Right.
So
I mean,
fun.
it's been a while. And he has a lot going on. So I'm really glad that we get to share it with all of you out there.
Yeah, he just a genuine, really nice person. Really enjoyed talking to him and excited to share all the links and everything and share another good book with all of our viewers.
Yeah.
If you like these videos, please subscribe. And you know what else you could do? Tell your friends. Tell your friends to subscribe too. Share the love.
Hey, what have you been doing?
I'm watching this really cool show. It's called Up to Your Ears.
Yes.
Check it out.
Yeah. Come on, just hang out with us. I don't want to give it away, but
we have to keep some things a mystery.
I love that we ask this question so many times to all of our artists friends when they're on the show, and it's so funny because I feel like this is such a revealing question. What was your favorite cartoon? Like, what is this is like the building blocks of who you are as a person. Your first cartoon, your favorite cartoon, right? I mean, come on. And it makes
what
sense.
You gravitated towards, because
what you gravitated
towards. Cartoons.
Yes, like Tyranny Tough gravitated towards Gem and the Holograms, can totally see it. Frenchie Smith gravitated towards Scooby-Doo, totally can see that. Will Johnson, Harlem Globetrotters. What? That's the first Harlem Globetrotters and Mr. Magoo. I love it. I can totally see it. Seriously.
It's the Scooby-Doo in us.
Totally. Or I'm sure a lot of people don't know who Mr. Magoo is. I remember the face and stuff.
Oh, totally watch Mr. Magoo. Are you kidding me? Hysterical.
I love
drive a car. Totally blind.
What is your favorite cartoon? We want to know what your favorite cartoon is. Leave a link in the comments there. Tell us, not a link, but tell us what your favorite cartoon is.
Tell us in the comments what your favorite cartoon is.
There you go. It's like Vanessa. She's so eloquent. I love it.
I credit Robin Roberts. Watched her master class. She really helped me. Shout out to Robin Roberts.
Robin Roberts.
Thank you. This has been Up to Your Ears. We loved talking to you today, and we loved talking to Will Johnson. Hope you tune in for more episodes. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Josie.
And it sounds good.
Thank you.
Counting the blessings while I am still alive. I just sang 18 secrets to a weeknight crowd.